Hey guys, it's Brittany. So, today's gonna be a Dreamtime video, and today I'll be sharing with you this dream that I've had recently. And I believe I had this dream about a week ago, and in this dream, I actually dreamt of the show, The Vampire Diaries, and yeah, The Vampire Diaries, and um, so, because I remember, I'm trying to think, how many times have I watched this show now? I think, what, three times. Um, but yeah, it's a good show. Actually, it's one of my favorite shows. But yeah, as much as I love movies, I also love TV shows as well, like sitcoms and even drama shows, even like uh, uh, fantasy shows. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I do have some favorite shows. So if you want to have a list of that, um, I could give you the list of my favorite shows, um, TV shows. So in this dream, what happened was I was actually in an episode of the Vampire Diaries, except this wasn't like in an episode that you would know I'm getting a little tongue tied here, but it's not an episode of any of the episodes that anyone seen or that you guys have seen if you have seen the show. It wasn't that kind of episode. This was a unseen episode. And what happened was I was actually in the show, so somehow I was part of the Vampire Diaries. So I think I must have played, human. But yeah, I don't think I played a vampire, but I think I just played a character who's human and someone who was just getting to know the Salvatore brothers and getting to know the other characters who are vampires and werewolves and even witches because, Bonnie's a witch. So, yeah, I was just like getting to know them. So I think, I'm not sure how this happened, but I think at some point I didn't know that they were what they were, but until I found it out, I think I must have gotten scared at first. But then they're like, hey, no, no, look, we're not bad here, we're the good guys. And so I think when they tried, when they were trying to talk to me about that and trying to say like, yeah, look, we're not bad here. There are ones that are worse, so we're good. And then we might do bad things, as vampires, but we're the good guys. I'm like, okay. And so I think even though that scared me at first to know that they were vampires, but I think after just having to talk with me, that I shouldn't have to worry, I shouldn't be scared of them, because there are others that are far worse than them. So I thought, okay, so I think at some point I started to, once I started getting to know them a little bit more, I think the more I thought, yeah, you know what, yeah, they're not bad, and yeah, they might have issues, but other than that, they're not, villains. So yeah, okay, I can see they're good, even though they might have some personal issues of their own, but everyone does. And it's like, okay, well, so yeah, I can see that as I'm with them, that somehow, of course they were they were being nice, they were being kind, and yeah, most of all, they were just treating me with respect. And so I think that's something I just felt good about, and I thought, okay, well, at least not only they're being kind to me, but they're very respectful, and I like that. So that made me comfortable to at least be around them and to talk to them and to get to know them a little bit more. And so now I don't know when this happened, but I remember I think something was going on, but I couldn't tell, like, okay, I think I can see what's going on here, but if I say something, I know someone's gonna be hurt, and the other person won't be hurt, but they're gonna, you know what I mean? Well, or I don't know if you know what I mean, but there was just something that was going on. Okay, so you know how, um, okay, with Elena, you know how both Stefan and Damon liked Elena? Well, now I don't know where Elena was, but I think she was somewhere. I think she was spending time with Bonnie, but because I was this new character, um, that was just like introduced to the story of the show, and even getting to know the characters and everything. And since I was just learning who, like, which characters are the vampires, werewolves, and witches, so because I was getting to know them, and that's something I liked, but then I kind of felt like, in a way, I was in Elena's situation, although very different, because I wasn't in her situation in a way of what she was going through, personally, but I was in a situation where, because when I was getting to know Stefan and Damon, and had just barely found out that they're vampires, and I was starting to get comfortable to be around them and not to be scared. And so, because of that, and just when I'm getting to know them, just a little bit here and there, personally and everything, but then I can see that both Stefan and Damon, that they liked me. I think they were crushing on me, and I was just like, yeah. So I can see that, and I picked that up, and I just had a feeling, and I sensed that, and so um, now it seemed like one of them was about to make their move. Of course, nothing fresh, nothing like that, but make their move in a way just to let me know, like, hey, I just want to talk to you about something, and I just want to let you know that I really like you, and I want to ask you out. So it seemed like one of them was about to say that, about to say what it was, how they felt, and that they wanted to take me out. So it seemed like one of them was about to say that. I think Stefan was going to do that, but then before he could, Damon did that. He was the one that came up to me and told me that. And honestly, so because I can see how me and Damon, we were alone in that living room, since it was a mansion, and we were just alone in the living room since it was quite big. And yeah, so we were sitting on the couch, and how he told me that. So before Stephen had the chance to tell me, Damon told me. He told me how he likes me, and that he wanted to take me out. But I think he said it in his own way, in his own words. But I forgot how it was of how he said it. And so the thing is, I actually I told him that I felt the same way, that I really liked him. And I remember him asking me, like, so even though you had just found out that me and my brother are vampires, so all of a sudden you're not scared anymore? And I was like, well, I gotta admit, I was scared at first, but now that I'm getting to know you both better, is I can see that you have, that you're good, and you have a good side to you, and so just getting to know you a little bit more, I'm not scared anymore, and I'm So I was just trying to tell him, but yes, and that's what was happening, is that I was just letting him know that, yeah, because I'm getting to know him a little bit more, that I'm not scared anymore, even of the fact that he's a vampire, and I'm just, just starting to feel more comfortable around him, his brother, and even with the other characters who are vampires. So yeah, after that, we were just talking for a bit. So I think he just wanted to get to know me a little bit. But the thing is, I think this happened way before the date happened. And what happened was, okay, in case you're thinking too far, no, that did not happen. In case you're thinking that didn't happen. But somehow, as we're talking, I'm not sure how long we were talking for, maybe an hour, 2 hours or so. But then, as we were talking, and before we could even go on a date, that we kissed. And so yeah, now the thing is, because of that, it just felt real, and it was just like, let's just say it wasn't like a full passionate kiss. I would say it was a passionate French kiss, but it was only like just maybe a little bit, if you know what I mean. And so, but still, I mean, that felt nice. Even in the dream, it's like, because that felt real. And the thing is, I didn't even know I was dreaming. And so at some point, so after that kiss, then I think Stefan heard something about something that was going on. And so right after that, and as we were talking for a little bit, then he comes up to us, and all of a sudden we start to feel awkward because it was like, oh, okay, he just sort of only were having this alone time together. And so just when he showed up, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry for the intrusion, for interrupting, but something's going on. And then Damon, he's like, well, what's going on? And he said, well, so Stefan, he says, well, you won't believe this, but someone, a man, got bit by some kind of monster, and now he is turning a monster himself, and he's living in the sewer, and now he's coming out, and people have seen him, and people have been running scared, locking themselves in their home because they're scared to go out. And Damon, he asked him, well, what does he look like? And so he was being sarcastic, and he says, no, let me guess. He looks like from the creature from the Black Lagoon, right? And Stefan said, well, actually, yes. He looks, if not exactly like that, but he looks at least similar to the creature from the Black Lagoon. So you're right about that. And so, and Damon, his eyes got wide, and he's like, really? Okay, well, we gotta go check this out before this gets out of hand. And so, I'm just sitting there listening to this, and I'm like, wait, a real creature? A real life Black Lagoon creature? And so, well, creature from the Black Lagoon. So I'm like, are you serious? This is really happening? And so they even asked me, like, Brittany, you're right? Like, you looked shocked. And I said, well, actually, I am. So are you telling me that there's a real life creature from the Black Lagoon monster out there? And So I got up from the couch and I'm like, is this really happening? So this is for real? And Stefan said to me, believe it or not, it's happening. And Damon, he told me, like, yep, believe it. Like even the monsters you've seen in movies, even they exist. And even though they may not have the same intention as they did in the film, but these kinds of creatures do exist in real life, but their intentions are far worse than what you see in those old B movies. And so when he told me that, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when they told me that, yes, this is real, even creatures, even like a creature from the Black Lagoon kind of creature, are real and they do exist, but their intentions are far worse than what is shown in the movie, I was just like, oh my gosh. And then of course I'm like, you know what? Okay, I believe it. Like if people are saying this is what they're seeing, and this guy is like creature from the Black Lagoon sightings, and I don't doubt it. Because if this is for real, then I believe it. And since I'm hearing that it is real, then yeah, I believe it. And so then all of us sat down because there are other characters too. Elena was there, um, and I think it was Caroline that was there, and so other characters were there. So we were all sitting down talking, and we were like, okay, so we had to come up with a plan how to spot this creature, and once we see him, how we're gonna catch him, and how we're gonna put an end to this monster, to this creature from the Black Lagoon. And I think someone said, or well, in this case, he's not from the lagoon. And since he came out of the sewer, so it's creature from the sewer. But then again, even that doesn't sound as, you know what I mean? It has a different sound to it than from the Black Lagoon. This one just sounds gross, creature from the sewer. Like, what? And so as we were discussing on how to able to catch this monster, once we see it and what we're gonna do, and that if this thing is in fact very dangerous, then we would have to kill it. And so after we were having this discussion and everything, I remember then afterwards, Stefan told me how he saw that me and Damon had a moment, and he's like, well, I know he likes you, and from what I can see that you like him too, and you know what, he was just letting me know, like if you two, I think somehow he was trying to say that, since, because of what he saw, he's like, you know what, if you two like each other, I'm happy for you, and that he wasn't gonna hold a grudge, and that he wasn't jealous. And so after that, he walked away, and Damon, he came up to me and he said, okay, we will catch this creature, but I promise that we will go on that date. And I was like, okay, I look forward to that. So and that's just how it ended. And so it just ended right there. And here's the funny thing though, is because I was thinking, how is it that I had this Vampire Diaries dream when it's been so long since I've watched it? I believe the last time I watched it was either 2 years ago, or no, I think it was 3 years ago. So how is it that I hadn't watched it recently, and now I had this dream about a week ago? I mean, I don't know. It could be just about that because when I've seen it, seen the whole show 3 different times, and it could be that I just know the characters well, and I just remember just certain parts of episodes of the show that somehow maybe it was in my unsubconscious mind, and somehow just when I was sleeping, it just created this very interesting Vampire Diaries dream. I mean, it's still a good dream though, it is. And I'm sorry if it's dark in here, like a bit dark in here, but it's because it's gloomy. We're gonna have a storm, and I'll let you know if we're gonna have that storm today, tonight, or maybe tomorrow, because who knows. But yes, this was a good dream. So, and let me know what you think of it. So, yeah. I don't. I do think I might get other dreams of the Vampire Diaries again, but when will that be? I don't know, because I do have reoccurring dreams about either the same shows or the same movies, and something new and different will be happening each time I dream about a particular show or movie. So if I ever have a dream about it, or if any show or any movie, of course I will let you know and share it with you. So I hope you guys like this dream video, and if you love the Vampire Diaries like I do, leave a comment down below, like the video, and for more movie content, reactions, dreams, and the paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.